All right, welcome back, everybody. Is this part 5? I think it's part 5. We are 1 trophy in on this account. That was quite exciting. I think we're at a place now where we're going to start the crafting and digging, which is a really important step. So this will be an important episode as far as that goes. Let's see what we're looking like, though. Always sad to see the no rough at mosquito. But maybe this is an opportunity for us to really hit that crucian spot hard. Unless we want to check out winding. We have 91 worms, and we're not really even fishing with worms that much right now. So let's go craft some tea. It's raining anyway, so we're going to need it for comfort. And I just want to make sure we have enough of all the stuff. So one thing, if you don't know, this was something I didn't discover for a long time. But if you click on something in the store and then click this, you can see how many you have already. So we've got plenty of sunflower, and we've still got 3 portions of caramel, which is plenty. It would be nice to fish somewhere close to camp since we're going to be doing crafting, but not completely necessary. Maybe what we do is just our little crucian gibble spot is so far away from camp. Camp's here and we're going all the way down there. I think we actually just craft a few teas right now to get us through the next little while, and then maybe we'll craft some more when we at another episode or something. So first let's go over what we have. So we purchased the shovel so we can dig, and we purchased the tea kettle, and I'll show you how to do the shovel in a minute. But with the tea kettle, basically it allows you to make tea at the campfire, right? So we can start a fire, but the reason why we can start a fire is because we have a few things in our inventory. We have firewood and matches, a couple things in our inventory. So we can do that, and then you hit E to start crafting. Technically, we could make baked potatoes first, but we're going to skip right to tea. And you really want to craft tea and coffee until you stop getting points in cooking, because you'll need so much of this over the course of your account if you play for a long time. Let's just make maybe 5 thermoses, maybe 6, something like that. Okay. Now, if you hold down U, you can put your shovel where you want it. I like to keep it in 4. And then if you hold down T, you can actually drag T over to one of your spots as well. On my main account, I have premium, so I can use the 6 and 7 numbers as well. But in this, we'll get by with 5. And so once you have your shovel assigned to the 4 slot, you just hit number 4 to pick it up, left click to dig. And then you'll notice that, first of all, we're leveling harvesting baits. Second of all, our energy. Look at our energy, the top bar. Our energy is completely gone all of a sudden, right? And that's where the T comes in. So then we can hold down T and drink it like this, or we can push the number 5 since we have it assigned to 5. And T will start to give us back our energy. And once we get mostly full energy, we'll dig again, and we'll just keep that cycle going for a long time, because we need to level up our bait harvesting quite a bit. The one thing I'm going to do before we do any more crafting is go ahead and make a lot of bread. So this would be 40. Is that enough? Let's do it a couple times. We're just going to make a ton of bread. And because we need some bread for bait. And then also, bread is so cheap. It's a cheap way to level up. So once we get our rods in the water, we're going to craft a ton of bread. Again, I wish there was a place we could fish near camp, because we could just go ahead and make all this tea, level up our cooking, and but I'm just not sure, other than our little bream and rough spot, which during the day is probably a terrible idea. I'm not sure there's anything we want to do. So you see our energy is slowly coming back from that tea. Once you can make coffee, coffee's even better for energy. You also can buy soda, the candy bars, basically sweet stuff, and coffee and cocoa and tea are the energy providers. And then alcohol and tea and a couple other random things are the comfort providers. So tea does a little bit of both. It's a little more focused on comfort, but it does, for an early level player, give you a chance to get energy as well. Do we have any skill points yet? So next time we get skill points, I think we're going to prioritize putting them in harvesting baits, which that won't be till level 10, which will probably be a couple episodes, but I think that might be worthwhile. In fact, I probably should have put points in harvesting baits already, just so that we're digging even better. Let's go ahead and dig. Is that our first redworm? Yeah. And now let's watch our energy bar. We should still be under the effects of the tea. It lasts for a few minutes. All right. So, Crucian Gibble, is that what we have? I'm sure it is. Size 6 bread. Let's just, it's been working, so let's stay with it. I think we were using 7 and 6 clip down here. Let's just keep catching fish while we're digging and crafting bread and everything. Don't like for it to be that tight, but I think in this one I want to try worms just for a bit. I know we did that yesterday, but we'll try it again. Already a fish on the first one. Oh yeah, it's really kind of an ugly spot over here, isn't it? Not a real good way to do this. I almost feel like we could do it this way. Like that might be our best bet. We just want to be able to see the line a little more clearly. Alright, our energy is almost high enough to dig again. So that's what it says when you don't have sufficient energy to dig. So we're going to dig one more time, then we'll drink another thing of tea, and then we'll start crafting some bread. So far no bites on the worms. What other baits do we have if we wanted to try something besides just bread? I just think that, you know, we could try maggots or bloodworms, but I think there's so many Crucian Gibbles. There might be a few roach, but I don't know that it's worth, like, focusing roach down here. Alright, we can dig again. I think every... I think every 2 shovels I'll probably... I'll probably drink tea. Especially with it raining and we're going to have lowered comfort as well. So far so good. Getting some chunky crucians again. This has been such a good spot for us to make some silver. We got to see our first trophy. And we're also leveling up bottom fishing so quickly now. Alright, first fish on worms. Let's see if it's worthwhile to keep worms in there. It was a crucian. I guess just for fun, let's try maggots. I think the answer is the what we did yesterday in the last episode, which is just all bread. I don't know if we got enough bread or not. We may want a little bit more. These early points you can get with bread, but it starts to slow down. Bread stops working. But, you know, digging slows down as well. You only get digging for so long. The main thing that's nice about digging right now is that we're occasionally going to get red worms. We'd do better if we had points, but no points for us, not yet. And then at some point we'll buy a few potatoes at Winding and make some potatoes. We'll need potatoes eventually anyway if we want to like fish for carp at a lower level. So we can dig now. And I don't think we drink this time. I think we wait till next time. $19 pieces left, 18 pieces left. We're still getting plenty of points. And we now are up to 405 pieces of bread. So that's a lot of crucian gibble fishing you can do for very cheap in terms of bait. Especially in a spot like this where decent ones are coming out at night in particular. This should be first fish on maggots if it actually gets on there. The thing I like about bread here is that I think it's just such a good bite rate. Obviously it's not the only bait you could use. In fact, if you have egg dough or sweet dough or that kind of stuff, it may even be better. But if you're low level and you don't have that stuff, bread is such a cheap bait anyway, and it just seems to be working terrific. We probably ought to go ahead and get fluorocarbon leaders for our other two rods. That is the one difference from last episode where we put this one on that one. That fluorocarbon leader on there. Alright, we can dig and then drink and then make bread again. we need to make more ground bait? I think we do. And this is what you do early on. You just level up all the things. So apparently there's a nice old berg bream spot right now. $27.54. I don't know what the clip is. But we'll see if it's still active by the time we get to Old Berg. 22 meter clip, okay. It's a nice tench. It's crazy, we're getting tench here every once in a while. All right, so dig. Oh, the other thing to notice is our hunger meter. When you dig a lot, your hunger goes down quickly, which we can eat some of our bread, but you definitely lose hunger a lot more quickly if you dig a lot. But another tench, the sooner you can get to leveling up your bait harvesting, so getting the shovel, crafting the tea, crafting the bread, potatoes from winding, the sooner you can get to that, and then unlocking pearl barley, the quicker you can start catching a higher percentage of bream and targeting really good roach spots. There's just a lot you can do with pearl barley. Just according to what bait's hot and stuff at the moment, but it's definitely worth getting. It's as quick as you can. We're doing okay, but remember, this is daytime fishing. This spot should be better at night. At least it was yesterday. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get a full hour in before work starts bothering me. See if there's any early indicators that things are happening. Oh, yeah. All right, so we need to strategically wrap this up in the next few minutes, because I can already tell I'm going to be tied up with work stuff soon. So unfortunately, this will be a little shorter episode, but it's an important episode because you need to, it will benefit you if you get on the cooking, tea, coffee, and digging train as early as possible. It will also save you silver. Every time we get points towards harvesting baits with the shovel versus making bread or potatoes even, or whatever, we're saving a little bit of silver. And we'll see, like, when I get a break in work, maybe I'll be able to do a second episode for the night. One thing I've thought about for the next episode is actually going to winding and trying that spot in the pond at night, trying for crucian gibbles and stuff like that in that spot. And then during the daytime, still fishing for crucian gibble roach on 2 feeders, but also seeing if we can't do any better on the bleak during the day. Although really the bleak seems stronger in the second spot we tried, so I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I'll think about it. So it's getting a little later in the day. It already feels like this spot's starting to pick up again, doesn't it? .1, we're doing good. Yeah, look at this, like the percentage of marker feels like it's just going up and up. Whoa, that sounds like a tench or something. That sounds like maybe even a common carp. Let's see how quickly it gets tired though. Is this a decent hook? Nope. It's going to be time for us to stop using these cheap hooks soon. I actually don't want to let too much pressure be on there. I mean, it's a common carp, it's just going to keep going and going, right? But if it's a crucian or gibble or something, it'll tire out. And but so far we've been having fish get off pretty frequently with the big pressure. So we'd rather just see it run a little bit. I think this is like a small tench. I kind of think that. I mean, you know, small to mid-sized tench, enough to give us trouble. Let's get it to run back right, though. Yeah, he's still got some fight, so... I mean, that's the thing, like, the longer the fight goes, the less likely it's crucian gibble or tench. The more likely it's common carp, I would say. We also have no energy, which isn't great, but... Yeah, it just seems heavy, right? For our setup. Seems like it might be like a 2.5, 3 kilo fish that we're just going to have a hard time getting in. Well, we kind of turned the corner there for a second. Is it getting tired, or is it just... I can't tell. We might just go for it here. We're pretty close to the fish right now. I just don't want to do that for too long. That's when it pops off, but we should be able to tell what it is at the very least. Oh, it's a tench. It's going to be a nice fish for us. 1 kilo tench. That was 1 kilo, guys. Wow. I forget how weak these starter setups really are. I mean, wow. Tench can fight a little bit, but like that's crazy. That's kind of crazy. All right. I'm kind of good with making lots of bread. It's so cheap and it's just quick points. It speeds up the process. Like, I'm a big believer in shoveling, but this does speed up the process. I mean, we're getting, you know, points at a pretty quick pace right now. I think all the way up to 10% at least. Bread is like pretty reliable. And for how cheap it is, and then we just have to shovel, and make some potatoes as well. Starts to get a little bit more expensive, but all right. So I think we should catch these fish. Unfortunately, we're just like not going to get to fish at the optimal time during this episode, so we're kind of missing out on the really good fish. Although that tench was fun, but we've had a good little session, and if nothing else, we've been able to talk about cooking and bait harvesting, digging, and all that. So it's not a waste, but it is a little shorter than I was hoping to go. Looks like we're going to be coming in at just over 30 minutes by the time we wrap this up. I think what I'll do is catch one more fish here, and then we'll fast travel just so that we can get back to the cafe real quick, and that way we can wrap it up naturally instead of me just like suddenly having to jump out of here. $20.3 on bottom fishing. It's pretty awesome. Do we want free worms? I don't think we need free worms anymore. Let's get a backup free spinning set. And after this, I think we're done getting free stuff from the cottage pond. We'll dig up so many worms now that there's no point, you know? There's really no point for free stuff from cottage pond. We've got 2 junky spinning setups if we ever want to screw around with them. We've got, you know, access to as many worms as we can dig now. I mean, what is our worm count at just from digging a little bit? I mean, we're already up to 144, right? So, all right. Ooh, we got a tench order. So let's see how much that tench was worth real quick, just out of curiosity. 4 silver. So not a bad little fish. They're hard to really target it at mosquito reliably, but we'll definitely take that order, obviously. And then we didn't quite get there on roach. It's 10 silver. It would have been nice, but I'm not going to let it stress us out. I mean, now this is always a good order. These are worth nothing, but we're going to get 10 silver for turning in 5. And then 2 of these for 3 silver. We have to use a marker because we didn't catch that many gibble, but it's still worth it for the silver. I mean, look at this. We're back up to 85. And that's going to be it on orders. 10 more for the roach if we had been lucky with 1 more roach. We just ran out of time. And then 20 more silver for everything. So we end up having a pretty good session, even though it's cut off short. Always use the cafe. It just expedites your silver gaining potential. Okay, so let's wrap this episode up here. Thank you all for watching. It stinks to be logging out right before nighttime when you're going to catch all the big fish, but all the big crucian gibbles and stuff, or whatever. Maybe next time there'll be a couple rough orders. That would also be exciting. Or maybe we'll go experiment at winding a little bit too. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, okay? Peace out.